Hello, this is the Life is Talking podcast with
Ano,
Eno and Joyce. Apa kabar, no?
baik.
Um, it's been a minute. Actually, it's been like a year, I guess. Is it a year?
I think so. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's been a while. We haven't done this podcast. So many things that happen in our lives. Uh, First, with my dad passing, um, actually, is last Friday was 1 year anniversary of my dad passing, and it was overwhelming. I have a mixed feelings, like I just miss him, and grieving is hard. Like you just miss this person that you cannot talk to anymore, and but I bet like he's in heaven right now, and then he's in a better place, and I bet that he wants me to enjoy my life too. I know. So yeah, so many things happen. That's one of the factor that we haven't done this because Anna also like gave me totally like a space to be ready again. And yeah, we had a talk here and there, like um, we are still thinking about this podcast because I don't know if it means something to you guys, but it means something for both of us. Um, just to refresh the memory that me and Ano we're just friend by acquaintance, and for somewhat we just click when we talk. So here we are again in the Life is Talking. We we're gonna talk about everything, whatever happened in our life, about lessons of life, and yeah. So how about you? Know how are you?
I'm doing well. Um, Waktu last year dengar kabar dari family kamu and all that happened. Uh, of course, yeah, it broke my heart ya. Kita berdua ngobrol dan kita, I mean jauh dari keluarga. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And I know that it was hard for Joyce. So tapi juga like on the same time somehow everything happens for a reason ya, like aku juga occupied with my own thing, and dari di titik itu last year in June until today, like I've learned so much about life, about grief, about being authentic, about loving yourself again after everything that happened in your life. Jadi jadi this year kita vacuum for a reason, because like doing things like this, we intention kita berdua adalah untuk really share something meaningful, dan dalam proses tersebut kitanya juga harus diproses, jadi kita nggak omong kosong gitu loh when we're talking about something, hopefully not ya gitu, karena intention kita we just want to share what life is, how to go about it, and how to deal with it. So yeah, so I also learn a lot from Joyce and how she process her grief, memproses dukanya dia yang nggak cut clean ya, like harus A B C D E F G, it's like a roller coaster, ada up and downnya. So maybe we can share about that, about processing grief,
Uh,
like what you learn from.
Karena I remember when I was little, I lost my grandmother. I was really close with her, and when I heard that she passed, it was, oh my God, I ran into, because she was in Solo or Surakarta, and we heard the news that she passed like from a phone call, and I just ran to the closet and I grabbed her clothes, and I smell all of her clothes gitu. I don't know why I got teared up again because I was very close to her. And after that, life goes on and everything. I got married. On the day I got married, actually, she was there in visual.
Wow, how so?
Actually, I have Amma. She's been taking care of me since I was 2 years old. So she is a family, basically. She is a family. So, jadi sebelum kita ke gedung pernikahan, kita di rumah aku didandanin dulu dengan semua rambut segala macam. Udah selesai, terus kita langsung pergi. Nah, si Mak ini di rumah, dia bersih-bersih, bukan bersih-bersih sih, maksudnya kayak ya udah pokoknya dia tutup-tutup rumah lah gitu istilahnya. Karena semua udah pergi gitu kan. Terus dia lihat, aku biasa panggilnya Maco gitu. Dia ada di kamar aku, duduk aja, senyum katanya.
Wow.
Dia just smile. So that's why waktu pas pernikahan di gedungnya, aku nungguin kok emak nggak naik ke panggung gitu, ke nyamperin aku gitu. Dia bilang katanya dia nggak bisa karena dia nangis terus. Dia inget itu, dia lihat Mak Jo ada di kamar aku dan dia lihat aku gitu, jadi dia nggak bisa. No, dia bilang I can't. So grief tuh waktu itu aku masih kecil, jadi aku juga beda ya cara cara journey-nya tuh segala macam tuh beda. And now I'm growing up. Grief itu like Eno bilang is a journey gitu loh. Jadi it's up and down. Sometimes you are fine, sometimes you smile, sometimes you just not in the mood to talk to anybody, sometimes you just don't want to be disturbed by anybody, and then suddenly you just cry. You listen to the music, you cry, and sometimes you laugh, or like sometimes when I listen to my dad's favorite song and I just like, hey dad, that's your songs, like that.
Yeah.
That's your favorite, like that. But sometimes I was like, oh. So it's a roller coaster. So for for those of you who grieving as well, take your time because
Ada ini nggak, ada kayak ada 5 stages of grief kan? Nanti I'll take a look at it apa aja. Tapi ada moment of denial, anger, seperti itu atau enggak? And how did you deal with that?
Anger mungkin pasti ya, maksudnya kayak my heart was broken, like broken to pieces, like why, like why. And then, but my dad was already sick when before he passed. So at the same time, I was kind of like, oh, but he's better in heaven now, he's not sick anymore. But at the same time, was like, I miss you, dad. Like those feelings, like I miss you. I want to talk to you. Like denial, I don't know. I don't know about denial, but apalagi no stagesnya.
aku nggak terlalu ingat ya, and the phone is being used for this.
You're right.
Jadi kalau nggak salah tuh ada proses, ada denial, ada anger, terus nanti at some point ada acceptance, terus ada apa lagi? I don't remember. You have your phone?
Yeah. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, acceptance. Ya, maksudnya gitu. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Yeah, denial, terus
Anger, bargaining,
bargaining,
depression,
and
and acceptance.
Yeah.
So I don't know what bargaining means.
Bargaining itu kayak
Trying to regain control or seeking solution.
Iya.
Oh, okay.
jadi kayak masih
What if? I mean,
Yeah,
like, what
yeah.
if? It often involves thinking about what you could have done differently, accompanied by what if everyone. You know what? Yeah, that one actually, yeah, because I was here in the States and then my dad is in Indonesia when it happened. Everything would happen so fast. So there's like so many like I supposed to like be there with him, like like those things. Guilty feeling, kayak lebih ke arah guilty feeling sih akunya juga because I wasn't there when he passed, but I had a chance actually to say goodbye to him a few hours before he died. So yeah.
So ya buat anyone yang going through grief, yang baru kehilangan seseorang atau bahkan udah kehilangan seseorang bertahun-tahun lamanya, there is no like exact solution how to go through it. In my opinion, allowing to feel those emotions is the only way to go. Karena the pain of loss, that feeling of you miss your dad or whoever, itu nggak akan pernah hilang.
No.
Even though you have accepted it, itu nggak akan pernah hilang. Dan it's not only about losing somebody through death, tapi juga let's say losing somebody through like the loss of relationship atau all kind of loss, or even like not smaller things tapi less significant one, kayak misalnya loss of a job, loss of identity and things like that, identity crisis also. Of course kita go through grief ya, but for today we're talking about the loss of loved ones. So in that moment in time, buat kita nih yang around you ya, wanting to love you, wanting to support you, apa sih yang somebody who is going through grief needs the most? I mean, at that point in time, what can we do to show up?
Actually, there's nothing you all can do.
Nothing,
Nothing.
Funny.
Like there were so many friends like DM me or like text me and like, hey, I'm so sorry for your loss, this and that. But at that time, I just read it, but I don't even reply to it, and then I didn't even like care, because at that time I was just like focusing on my feeling, I was being selfish, but that's how I felt, and I put aside like all. I mean, I appreciate like some of my friends like reaching out to me, but some close one, they call me, and I really love that because I really need that support, yeah. And then some of the friends, they like DM and chat, but I didn't reply right away. I think I replied it after I was ready to reply it. So you have to know too, when you have a friend who lost someone and then you text him or you DM her when she didn't reply, you're supposed to understand because there's no words that can help you to ease the pain. There's nothing. I'm sorry, there's nothing.
Yeah, so basically mungkin kamu cuma perlu space aja ya, perlu space,
Yeah.
perlu time, and it's
Yeah.
not about us who's trying to reach out. Terus
Yeah.
dia nggak balas, it's like I guess giving space juga is the support that you need.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. Karena yeah, ada yang a friend came and we cried together, and then ada juga yang kayak, hey, if you need anything, I'm here gitu. I appreciate that, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, I just appreciate that, but if that's help, some probably, yeah, but not all. But like you said, space, I think you need to give that person space for sure. Yeah.
Terus like in your own internal journey, pasti banyak kan kalau after we're feeling lost is like this pain yang sesek gitu ya, like nggak bisa keluar gitu loh. Is there any moment yang kamu ngerasa kayak finally aku bisa like let go of this, or like finally finding relief, or finally smile for a little bit, or anything, any experience like that?
Oh, it's still up and down, to be honest. Karena I remember, I think a few months after my dad's passing, we went to a concert. Whose concert was that? I forgot. And my dad and I, we both love music, so I got the music gene from my dad. I couldn't live without a music, even just for a sec. So I always put music on Spotify all the time. And at that time, I kind of like have a guilty feeling because I kind of like, why you're going to a concert after, like, your dad passed, and then at that time, when I listened to the music and then I closed my eyes and then I just said, I'm enjoying the music, and then I kind of like feel my dad's presence, to be honest, on that time. So that's why I know, I was like, oh, you're here with me, like we're enjoying the music together, because even though I couldn't see him or anything, but at that time when I said it, I closed my eyes and then I was just imagining like my dad was there. I felt his presence.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then I have someone told me like, you have to go on with your life too. That's what he told me,
Mhm.
and I was like, so it's everything is on your term. It's not on somebody else's terms. Like, it's not like your family saying like, hey, no, you have to start. Okay, you have to start like feel all right. No, no,
Yeah.
nobody can say that. It's only you who can like, oh, I want to cry, you cry.
Yeah.
You want to like enjoying the music, or like, and that's fine too. It's only you who knows the terms.
Yeah.
Don't let any other people like define like, oh, you have to do this, or you have to be like ready on certain of times. No. So, and hopefully if you have your significant others, and hopefully he or she understand that.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Jadi intinya nggak bisa dipaksain ya kapan kita bisa move on atau kapan kita bisa continue with our life.
Yeah.
Intinya it's your own term.
Term.
Dan the one
Yeah.
thing yang aku belajar dari Joyce, like since the beginning, she never has any problem expressing her emotion. When she wants to cry, she just cries.
I was like, what was it? I was like thinking, apa ya?
But Itu sangat sulit sekali. It's not easy
Yeah,
to
really?
be vulnerable, to cry. It's not easy karena some people are orang-orang tertentu grow up dengan nggak boleh nangis atau harus kuat atau your emotion tuh nggak ada hubungannya dengan situasi yang sekarang, ngapain kamu nangis gitu. Pengalaman orang beda-beda gitu loh. Jadi ada banyak orang ya, including me, itu having problem untuk express emotion. I think it's easier for me to get angry daripada crying, expressing sadness, or even sharing. It's hard for me gitu. So tapi in like grief we have no choice, we have to let go. But I also know people yang grieving, yang berduka, but they don't even give time for themselves untuk expressing their emotion. It's so hard. They have to move on right away, or they're scared to express it. So do you have any, I don't know, maybe because you're so okay with it, so open to expressing your emotion, but what can we do to let out based on your experience?
I don't know. I think it's just who you are. Like you said, it depends like how you are raised, I guess. Like, um, I don't know. Like right now, I don't even plan to cry. And then I thought before we started this right now, I was just thinking, oh, I think I want to share it. Even Anno asked me like, oh, you feel okay if you want to share about your grieving? And then I said like, yeah, that's fine. I was just fine. Like since even the morning, I was thinking about it, but and then Anno asked me, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I thought I was fine, but until I was talking about it again, and then I got emotional. So I think it's just who you are. Like, if you feel want to cry, cry. I mean, you needed to let it out, but I don't know how for an advice for some people who cannot let it out, because I just wish I could just tell like easily, hey, just let it out, because I cannot do that, because that depends on the person. Sometimes I just say, hey, nangis aja, nangis, keluarin, keluarin gitu. But we cannot push them.
Yeah.
One thing that I learned, that what we can control is our own, our expression, our emotion, our reaction. But what other people reaction or emotion is not me who can control it. You yourself can control it. Like so I think you have to go deep within, like you yourself, because no other advice from other people can like make you let it out. I think you have to go deep within you, like, hey, I feel I want to cry. Okay, I want to cry, like,
or be angry,
or be angry, or whatever it is your
or
emotion at that
questioning,
time,
yeah.
or like, hey, I just don't want to do anything today, like,
Right.
just want to be in your PJs and then watching Netflix, and then you don't want to see people. I mean, even if you see me as, I don't know, maybe like I'm kind of like more social, if you see. Did you consider me as a social person?
Yeah.
Is it? Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't want to be bothered.
Yeah,
Like,
there was a moment yang kamu memang like nggak terlalu keluar. Maybe that's like I guess we can categorize it as depression phase, right? Kamu cuma mau stay home and then just watch Netflix or...
see, when you categorize that I know, like, oh, that are the stages, because I don't even know. I don't even Google it, like what was the stages of the grieving, because I just didn't know. And then when now you're saying it, I was like, oh, so that's part of that depression stage, you think?
Yeah. Possibly. Dan apa namanya? dan nggak pernah linear gitu ya, nggak pernah sama. Kadang anger-nya datang duluan, kadang denial-nya, and then after, but in the end acceptance is the ultimate goal, right? What about God or spirituality? Does it help you with grief?
Oh, definitely, 100%. So for those of you are who just listening to this podcast for the first time, I was a Catholic before, and I converted to Muslim when I got married with my husband, and during those moments, it's a roller coaster moments too, and until I really find like when I give it all, like aku kayak berserah gitu ya, intinya berserah. Aku kayak aku mohon, aku minta guidance tetap, karena kan kita human being, kita tetap perlu di guidance sama yang the greatest, of course gitu. Dan apa namanya, those moment when I prayed, itu ada momen dimana yang kayak kadang-kadang aku cuman kayak ngomong, no, kayak ngobrol aja gitu. Mintanya banyak ya kan? Apa, no, kalau kamu bilang kita kalau minta harus detail.
Oke.
Atau itu aku yang ngomong ya? Kayaknya kalau minta tuh harus detail. Jadi dikasihnya sesuai yang kamu mau. Terus selain itu kadang-kadang aku juga kayak tumpahin di situ, aku lagi mau nangis, tiba-tiba aja aku nangis gitu. Nanti tiba-tiba aku lagi being grateful, being apa, atau being angry kadang-kadang gitu ya. I mean, aku luapin aja gitu, dan itu ngebantu banget karena menurut aku your journey with your God, whatever your religion is the one that built me as a person. Besides, like, of course, your surroundings ya. Karena menurut aku itu basic yang paling penting sih, kalau menurut aku. Gitu.
So it helps.
Yeah.
It helps to
It
pray. It helps to curhat sama Tuhan.
It helps.
Yeah.
Gimana kalau kamu, no? Kamu ada pengalaman yang mungkin sama, not only grieving, mungkin maksudnya kayak hal lain yang bikin kamu, tadi kan kamu tadi bilang you learn a lot for this past year gitu. Kalau kamu boleh sharing, apa nih yang kamu halamin, apa yang kamu learn?
Yeah. Mungkin bisa dikaitkan dengan grief juga ya, cuman mungkin different form. Jadi kayak yang aku share tadi, aku bukan orang yang easily expressing my emotion. And contoh waktu my grandma passed away, aku mungkin masih SMA or something, or in college, I don't remember. It's been a while. Instead of nangis atau sedih, aku got to like alert mode atau work mode. Aku yang beresin bunga, nyiapin ini, keeping myself busy karena I don't have access to my emotion. Gitu loh. Maybe because it's too painful for me. Maybe because I'm ashamed to cry. Ada rasa malu untuk nangis di depan orang. Maybe, I don't know. Tapi aku dekat sama nenek aku ini karena tinggalnya di sebelah rumah gitu loh. Like aku ingat zaman dulu tuh kalau misalnya beliau perlu apa-apa ada belnya yang nyambung ke rumah sebelah, and then ding dong, and then oh she needs something, and then aku kesana like, Pi temenin, oke, siap gitu. Tapi itu begitu. Waktu my dad pass away juga sama. Aku di sini, ibu datang ke rumah. Aku sama ibu pada awalnya kan nggak tinggal bareng ya. Jadi ibu di rumah, udah gitu teman-teman datang. Aku nggak bisa nangis di depan teman-teman tuh, kayak I'm okay ya, mungkin ya I volunteer a little tears gitu loh, just performance, like basically bukan performance dalam artian aku pura-pura sedih ya. Sebenarnya deep down inside I was heartbroken secretly I'm crying in the dark or in my sleep or whatever gitu loh. Tapi aku nggak bisa express itu. Ya itu tadi mungkin ada shame, ada guilt, ada I don't know gitu loh, like apa yang membuat aku tuh nggak bisa express feeling. Dan aku mulai bisa express feeling itu baru-baru aja the past few years when I go within, when I actually got my heart broken, and then I start to be in touch with myself, and then aku mulai therapy dengan psikolog, and then mereka mulai memperkenalkan what is emotion, and it's okay to feel your emotion. It's okay to be angry. Zaman dulu tuh aku kayak yang orang yang I got it all together. Stoic gitu. Jadi kayak ada masalah, we can handle it, nggak marah. Tapi ini kan semua disuppress kan perasaannya. Jadi different experience kita. Nah, last year when you lost your dad, kita ngobrol sebentar kan, and then we decided that we're gonna stop. Sebenarnya sih niatnya mungkin like a week or two, tapi it ended up a whole year. Tapi yang namanya nah, that whole year, I went through my own grieving process, meaning tidak berdasarkan apa yang event yang terjadi sekarang in the present moment, but everything yang dulu-dulu tuh terpendam atau suppress emotion. Itu meludak semuanya selama setahun terakhir.
Oh wow.
Gitu. Jadi ada momen dimana kayak aku tiba-tiba panic attack, ngadangin nggak hujan, orang aku kerja di rumah, semua nggak ada apa-apa, like you know, panic attack, and then all of a sudden aku tuh kayak ngerasa sedih banget, dan nanti aku tiba-tiba inget my dad, atau aku inget my childhood, atau aku inget my old relationship, atau aku inget my friend that is no longer my friend. Jadi semua grief yang aku dulu nggak pernah rasain keluar semua. And how do I know? It's happening in my body. Kan banyak yang bilang tuh, sekarang juga pasti banyak yang tahu kalau kita suppress emotion lama-lama jadi penyakit, ya kan?
Yeah.
Jadi cancer, jadi autoimmune disease, jadi segala macam. I think that's true. Terus ya selain berdasarkan penelitian juga aku mengalami gitu loh. Ketika semua emosi itu keluar, aku ngerasainnya di badan. Kayak kalau aku lagi ketakutan, itu kerasanya di hip sama di kaki, itu tense dan kaku, kayak berat, kayak ada breaknya gitu. Kalau rasa grief atau sedih itu di sini, like exactly here sama di sini. Maybe because ini kan throat, kan ada bagian istilahnya cakra gitu ya. Throat ini kan untuk orang seperti aku yang nggak bisa express, bakalan banyak pressure di sini gitu. Kayak ini di sini, ini kan like gut kita, solar plexus, di situ kita simpen semua emotion kita tuh di sini. Makanya orang dan juga kalau you're heartbroken, makanya banyak orang meninggal serangan jantung juga sometimes ada namanya broken heart syndrome.
Never heard about it. Oh really?
Ada namanya broken heart syndrome. Itu kalau itu biasanya orang meninggal, biasanya kalau aku pay attention ya, beberapa orang yang meninggal karena broken heart syndrome ini itu karena mereka heartbroken because of grieving somebody, either somebody who died, their spouse who died, like temannya ibu tuh ada yang meninggal, diagnosisnya broken heart syndrome after her mother died. So yeah, that's my experience. So it's never too late buat kita finally getting in tune with our emotion and mulai let go of the grief. Mungkin bakalan ada kejadian yang kayak membuka kuncinya gitu ya, akhirnya semuanya jebol dan keluar semua. Let it out gitu. I mean, we cannot discuss on how to do that today because this is a limited time podcast. We can discuss it in another day. Tapi ya itu tadi, as Joyce was going through her grief, I'm going through my grief. Even the change of my identity, who I was before and who I am now, there's a process of grieving too. So yeah, so it's been a year that is full of.
And how did you feel about it?
How did I feel about it?
Like after, like you said, suddenly you had a panic attack, and then suddenly maybe you were like crying, or suddenly did you cry though?
Oh yeah, I have no problem crying kalau behind closed door. No problem. I think apa namanya? We have no choice at certain point in my life untuk nggak let it go, because it's literally secara somatis itu keluar dari tubuh gitu loh. I know it sounded like weird or something, tapi memang emosi itu bisa termanifestasikan melalui tubuh kita ya gitu. Yeah. And then waktu kemarin kan kita ngobrol, and then I was sharing with you about my depression, and then I told you right untuk I'm choked up, right? I'm choked up tapi nggak bisa ngeluarin gitu kan. So that's another lesson that I learned, that if you're like me, nggak bisa express your emotion, pick your trusted people, practice to let it out. Gitu aja. So slowly you're gonna change into diri kamu yang lebih otentik gitu loh, bukan diri kita yang berpura-pura like we're sad but we pretend to be okay. So that's what I did. I keep challenging myself kalau misalnya, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna express my emotion. I practice with the people that I trust, with my best friend, Joyce, practice it. Then usually something good comes like right after that. Kita kan awal-awal ngomongin manifestasi dan sebagainya.
Right.
That's like the exciting part of this whole journey. Tapi kalau kita nggak go through the grief and all that, I think those manifestation means nothing. Nggak ada maknanya gitu loh. Nggak ada appreciation-nya juga gitu.
Ya, aku ingat waktu after my dad passing, and then we had a talk, we had a chat, we had a talk, and then you said like, I think it's okay to, we pause this podcast for a while, like you said, we was just probably maybe like a month or two at least at that time. We thought we could continue after a month or two. And then Eno said like, but maybe this is time for us to learn, because she said, you said like, so many things happen. Like, I think it seems like we were tested. I remember you said that. Remember?
Yeah.
Like we were tested. Like we are talking about this manifestation, about like it's okay to not feel okay, but like at that time, we both like really tested. Like
a whole year of not feeling
the
okay.
whole
Okay.
year. Right? I
Right.
mean, like the whole year,
Right.
we were going through this, and then at that time, yeah. But then after that, we didn't really talk, and then after that, we sometimes we talk again, and then it's on and off. And but thinking about it, like so while we're having this podcast, we were also tested, like, so it's not only you guys who's like feeling, like, oh, what is this, like this manifestation bullshit or whatever, but we are trying, we are a human being, we are still learning every day, even like talking with Anna or talking with my other friend, like we are learning every day. There's something like what Eno said, like made me realize, oh my God, yeah, that's true. I think I have to, it's not like I have to do whatever Eno told me to advise me to, but no, but it's just, I just realized it. Oh yeah, that's true though. Oh my God, I didn't see from that point of view, so sometimes, like you said, it's when you told the story to your trusted person, whoever it is, and then you realize you sometimes we don't need a friend who just like being nosy, like, hey, how are you, but you just want to know, like, you're just being nosy. It's not like you care,
Mm-hmm.
but when you talk to someone that like um gave you like a different opinion, like you didn't even see from that point of view, and then suddenly you realize, oh yeah. So that's like sometimes like when me and Eno talking, and then in the end I was just thinking Eno saw that from a different perspective. So I didn't even see it myself. So sometimes it's needed to let out your emotions, like um and it's okay to not feel okay, and it's okay to be vulnerable.
Be
Vulnerable.
vulnerable. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Dan sometimes kalau kita mendampingi orang yang lagi grieving, well, when I called you, I cried for some reason.
You
And then
did?
yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm like heartbroken when I called you, and then after that you cried, and then that's it. I'm just like a container. Kalau kita mendampingi orang, kadang kita cuman perlu jadi either jadi container atau jadi tongkat buat bantu orang tersebut berdiri, atau cuman jadi orang yang duduk situ bengong-bengong next to that person. Sometimes that's all we need.
That's the only thing that you
Yeah,
need.
that's all we need. And sometimes we would say something as long as it comes from our heart, not trying to fix the other person. Joyce, lo udah harus move on, udah setahun nih, like your life must go on. You cannot force that juga kan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Eno said, like for you or who is grieving right now, who just lost a person who is close to you, then take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time. Your own turn. Yeah. So I think that's all for today. We're gonna see you in the next episode. Hopefully in a beautiful places. This, by the way, this is Arlington Park, and not found this park, and it's beautiful in a city of Pasadena. So,
All right. Thank you
all
for
right.
listening.
Thank you for listening.